Hi everybody, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Saturday, August 22nd of the year 2020, and this is my 33rd video here on FlossTube. So I want to welcome you all and thank you. I want to thank all my current followers and subscribers. I really do appreciate you wanting to come back every week to check in on me and see what craziness I've been up to. I also want to welcome any new viewers and subscribers. I said followers the first time, huh? Viewers and subscribers. I understand that Darren, Dizzy Stitcher here on FlossTube did mention me on his latest video, so thank you Darren for the shout out. And again, if any of you guys are coming in from his from his channel, then I welcome you all. And I also want to encourage my subscribers to go ahead and check him out if you haven't already. He has fantastic whips on the go. He too is a full coverage fanatic, so tons of full coverage, mostly wildlife, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, actually I don't know if he has bears, but he definitely has lions and tigers. So go ahead and check him out because he does have some really neat stuff, and his videos are really nice to watch. And I also want to give a shout out to Fiona from Fiona's Craft Cottage, who also mentioned to me on her video. She is the dyer. Here I can show you the fabric that she dyed for me. So this is not this week's whip, but she's the one that dyed this fabric for me. The one that I'm using for my Time to Stitch Sal. She also dyed it was a custom order. She did a custom order for me for the 3 Things sampler. The 3 Things sampler. Oh my goodness, it's a little bit earlier than my usual recording time. Yeah, go ahead and check her out. She just uploaded another FlossTube video. And again, she has amazing whips. She does incredible finishes. Obviously she does have a little segment where she shows off her fabrics, so go ahead and check her out. But yeah, having said that, I did work on some things this week. I feel like I didn't work on as many as I normally do. But that's because I was focusing on one whip mostly. I know it's a shock, like Alma working on one single whip. The world must be ending. But it is a birthday gift, so I do want to get it done sooner rather than later. So having said that, let's get to stitching. The first thing I worked on last weekend, so after I filmed my video, was one of my longer term, or not longer term, but the goal that I have set for myself are a little bit on the higher side. It is my Snow Girl, and this is a design by Tilton Crafts based on Daniel Kordick's artwork, and this is my 20 and 20 whip for full coverage fanatics, so 20,000 stitches in the year 2020. I think I have like 3. I forgot. I should have checked before filming how much I had left to do. But I was able to. Oh, here we go. I was able to do 500 stitches on it during the weekend, and I'm storing her in my Wonder Woman project bag that Michelle, Southern Doxy Stitcher, made for me. It's obviously, I mean, she knows that I'm working on a Wonder Woman whip, but since I've already reached the goal for her for this year, and it's even got like a little charm, super cute. But since I already since I already reached the goal for that whip, I decided to store Snow Girl in it in the meantime. Then once I pull out Wonder Woman again next year, then I can just switch them out. But this is what I have done so far. Again, I put in 500 stitches, which means that I'm still filling in the little spaces that were left here on the top right corner. I was trying to do all the lighter colors first before adding in the darker ones, just because I know that some darker colors tend to overpower the lighter ones, and I didn't want them bleeding into each other. But I did put up a little Instagram story where I asked my followers on Instagram whether or not they wanted, I was asking their opinion. I said, okay, should I keep going on the background, like keep going towards this side and keep working on the background, or should I go ahead and start on the apple? And 2/3 were like, go for the apple. So whatever I have left of the 20 and 20 challenge, I'll go ahead and finish up filling in the apple at last. So that's going to be very exciting. And this is a needle minder by Stitchin' Button. She is also here on FlossTube. She has a Facebook group where she does most of her sales, but she's also on Instagram. And I think this one on the bottom is by Kim's Needle Minders, if I'm not mistaken, and it's the little Cinderella needle minder. I think it's by Kim. Might be because I have a couple of shops that I keep going back to. Both are fantastic. They really do work. They work, but they're strong is what I meant to say. The magnets are really strong, so I really like them. Anyways, once the week started, the weekdays started, and the homework was released for Magical Stitches and Enchanted Stitching, I was able to start those. For Magical Stitches, we only had 2 prompts this week. So they were 500 stitch count each. The first prompt was we needed to work on our most recent start, because the characters are moving into a new home, so new whip, reset whip. If you watched my video last week, then you know that I started this on World Cross Stitch Day, which was last Friday. This is Heaven and Other Designs mini mauve, it's mauve, right? Mauve Irises by Miriam Broom. And for this one, I don't necessarily have a set goal, since I started it somewhat later in the year. I think as long as I have like 2,000 stitches in it by the end of the year, I'll call it a success. And I've already done 500. So believe it or not, this is 500 stitches. I like working on 25 count. This was part of the scrap fabric from when I got the fabric for Eternal Promise. I don't mind it. Like, I enjoy working on 25 count, but the one thing I still can't get used to is how tiny. Like again, like I'm used to 500 stitches looking more like, you know, like this space filled out or something, and instead we have this teeny tiny space. But I did appreciate working on this design because I've already started on the first petal right here, the first flower petal, and I'm so used to my whips having you know, a lot of background before you get to the main focus. When I picked up that first purple, I was like, is this right? Am I already started on the flower? So that was a nice change for sure. The second prompt was we needed to work on something whip that had an item that if it was like, that we would be sad if it was stolen from us. So for that one I chose Eternal Promise, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart based on Matt Stewart's artwork. And it's based on the characters from Lord of the Rings. This is Arwen and Aragorn. And so how I tied it to the prompt was, I said that if I owned anything like the headdress that she's wearing, then I would be very upset if it was stolen from me, because it looks super pretty and super expensive. But I am keeping that in a bag by Stitch and Button as well, project bag, which is really nice. This is a little charm as well. This I also used this for a prompt in Enchanted Stitching Challenges, where we had to pick a whip where we were in too deep, because Dr. Facilier, the villain of the movie, he keeps making deals with the voodoo spirits or whatever to try to beat Tiana and Naveen. So you know, he keeps digging himself further in debt to these spirits. So I just said that you know, for this I had to buy, you know, a ton of fabric. I pretty much had to buy the entire yard of 25 count. But as I mentioned, I did have a little bit of fabric left over for a couple more whips, but still, like, I had to buy the entire fabric. I had to buy the floss for it, and on top of everything, it's going to be a present, and the recipient already knows it's going to be for my sister, and she already knows that it's coming eventually, you know, in 10 years. But you know, like, it's sealed, it's done. I can't back out now. But that was also 500 stitches, whether you believe it or not. I mostly worked on, because I already had some hanging threads. I still have a few to go, but I had a lot of hanging threads, so I decided to just go ahead and finish those off. And then I just kept going with one of the colors for a little bit longer. I think it was, yeah, I think it's this one. It's this main one, because that one had the most. So I was like, okay, which one can I choose to just finish off the 500 without necessarily changing colors too many times? And this needle minder is also by Stitch and Button, because it's the one ring, you know, so it matches. And then after I did the homework, that's when I started focusing on the birthday present. The birthday's coming up in September, and I can't get this fabric to fold. Okay, please stand by. All right, I'll put it in the back later. But yeah, so I've been focusing on this one whip for quite a bit of time. It's the Rick and Morty pattern by All My Stitches shop. She's got a ton of these, a lot of pop culture, a lot of movies, TV shows where she has the outline and then an image within that silhouette. And the last time that you saw this, I was I think like 1500 stitches in. This is what I have now. I'm at 5,100 stitches now. So, as I mentioned, quite a bit of work on this. I've finished off all the greens and the yellows. I changed some things around. The pattern called for some white, so I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So as you can see, the pattern has like some white spots going around the vortex or the portal. and I don't know, I didn't care for the white in the middle of everything, so I decided that I would make the white parts yellow, and then the yellow parts I just chose a lighter shade of green. It's this right here. I'm pretty sure this is it. So yeah, I just wanted everything filled in. I didn't want to, because you did have to stitch in white, but I just didn't necessarily care for it. So yeah, so I added, I just made that little change. And I'm not using, besides the greens, the two main greens that were used, I'm not using the called for colors. Well, I mean besides black too, but I'm not using the called for colors. I'm just gonna use something that I had on my for my tea stash pile, so that I can use, I still matched them to make sure that I got the closest thing. But yeah, I just want to try to get rid of a lot of the colors that I have. And this needle minder is by Kim's Needle Minders. Isn't it cute? Look at those kitties. That was super cute. And last but not least, to kind of give me a little bit of a break from Rick and Morty, which is 72% done, by the way. Thanks, Pattern Keeper. And I did use that for some of the prompts and enchanted stitching challenges. We had to pick something that was from a restaurant, like something that you could reserve at a restaurant. So the pattern has some like squid tentacles. So I just said, yeah, you can fry those up, right? I've never tried them, I've never had them, but I'm pretty sure those are a thing. Fried squid tentacles. And then I also used it for something that has legs, so you can see Rick and Morty in the pattern, and they're running, so they clearly have legs. But then one of the prompts that we have for enchanted stitching challenges is we needed to pick on something that had to do with Evangeline. Evangeline is the star in the sky that one of the characters is in love with. And so we had to pick on something that represented their love, that represented her. So I picked my Lilac Evening. This is a realist kit. And sorry for the glare. But yeah, I just said, okay, well, if Evangeline were human, then I think this is what she would look like. She would be a very beautiful and proper lady. And this is also my WhipGo piece for this month. No, it was false. It was my July piece for WhipGo, but I didn't work on her because I was doing full coverage Fanatics Bingo. And since this is not full coverage, I just decided that I would hold off on working on her until afterwards. But this is what I have done so far. I guess it doesn't look like much yet, because I think I only put in half of the amount required for the homework task, so I need to finish it off. But I'm still working on the lace of the hat, so a lot of half stitches. So for the sake of not counting stitches, I'm just gonna count time, which is not the option that you have for enchanted stitching. But yeah, I'm just making my way down with the different colors. Ultimately, I would like to finish all the cross stitching by the end of the year. Which again, if I'm gonna have a ton of half stitches to give it the texture, the see-through texture, then I think I should be okay. But yeah, she hadn't come out for a while, so I felt like it was long overdue. And yeah, I'll work on her this weekend probably to finish off the homework task, and then get back to Rick and Morty as well. But yeah, that's all that's all I worked on this week, so not as much as I sometimes have to show. But again, I'm just focusing on Rick and Morty. So hopefully I'll have a finish to show you guys next week. Because again, the birthday is coming up soon, so I should show you a finish next video. So stay tuned for that one. But yeah, I did want to mention regarding the ads on the videos. I've decided I've just been struggling. It's been a constant struggle. I just decided that in lieu of having the ads in the middle of the video, I have opened up in a profile account on buymeacoffee.com, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Derek and Christian from Married with Stitches mentioned it as well. It's not mandatory. It's just if you would like to show your support, you can go on that. I'll go ahead and link it below. But if you'd like to show your support, you can go ahead and buy me a coffee. It's just a little bit of money that you donate, really. But again, it's not mandatory. I do want to give you guys better quality content, better variety of content. I would like to do giveaways. I'm working on my own to make it happen. But if you guys want to go ahead and show your support, it would be most appreciated. But yeah, besides that, I'll go ahead and keep working as I normally do. School does start up on the 1st for me, the 1st of September, so I'm sure that's going to put a damper on my stitching my stitching time. But I mean, I've certainly gotten a lot of progress done this year alone, so I'm not that sad about it. A lot of the Facebook groups are going to be announcing their themes for next year. Magical Stitches will be announcing her theme on the 1st, and then New Starts 2021, which is a Facebook group that's it's there. Like, you can join the Facebook group at this time, but they haven't announced their official rules yet. It's just been speculation at this time. The ladies, the admins over there, are kind of saying there's going to be a set number of stitches supposedly that'll qualify for a whip, and obviously it's the same as the name implies. There's no new starts, but they've also hinted that there may be opportunities for you to start something if you so wish to do so. But the official rules won't be announced until the 1st as well. So it's and then Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff, she has an amazing, incredible announcement in her video, in her latest video, so you should definitely check her out if you haven't already. But she's now announced that Whip Go is coming back next year, so that's exciting. But yeah, like, it's definitely looking like 2020 is wrapping up, which is insane. But it's making me think towards the future as well. Like, it's making me think about 2021 goals, which again, like, as I'm right, because I legitimately like wrote them down on a piece of paper. I just wrote down all the goals, and I'm just like, what am I doing? It's barely August and I'm already writing down 2021 goals. But it is what it is. I mean, it's that time of year where we're all getting ready for it anyways. But yeah, sorry for rambling a little bit there, but that is all I have to show you. I hope that everybody's safe and sound. If you're near the Gulf of Mexico, my heart is with you, my prayers are with you. I hope that you're all safe, that you literally weather the storm. 2 storms, because I'm pretty sure it's 2 storms that are coming in. But again, I hope that you guys remain safe. I hope that you guys have a nice weekend, you have a productive week, and that you always find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. So until next time, take care, guys. Bye.